Hi, welcome to my video. I'm Jennifer Roberts. You're catching me on Writing on the Wall on True Divine at YouTube, Bitchute, and you can also catch me at Facebook at True Divine 44. You can get me on The True Divine at Instagram and Twitter. So this is where I put out my psychic knowings, my intuitions, my research, my gut instincts, whatever. I don't like labels. So it's where I put my thing out. Regarding whatever I feel led to put out. And this one's a bit difficult because I'm going to give a warning that it is graphic and could be upsetting. And I take no responsibility for that as to how you process that, because that warning's given and we are all adults. So but I will make you aware also, you don't listen to this one with children present, obviously. And at your discernment, listen on. At your discernment, switch off. That is absolutely your right as an adult. And but again, I accept no responsibility. I just know that I need to put this out. I've discussed it with a few of the closest people to me, and I've been sitting on it for a little while. And because it's difficult, it's difficult even for me to go back to and process and speak about. But I'm going to speak it out because I've been getting nudged and nudged and nudged to do so. So I want to speak on China, and I want to speak on the fact of we know the harvesting that goes on there. There has been no leader that has made any emphasis about this, that hasn't took any action over this. That has really, harnessed the will and the power of the people to it being actually one thing that we would like to go in and stop. Why? Well, because organ harvesting is, believe it or not, a real good label that is far less weird and far less need to be secretive than what it is covering up. And that is not to say that it's not going on, of course not. But what I've been seeing, having visions of, remote viewing, what I've been just having intuitions about, it is that actually none of these leaders can or will go in. One, because they're not leaders and they'll get prompted to wherever they're prompted to and told to back off from wherever they're told to back off from. But two, because they are not going to be allowed to go and do anything, even if they wanted to, regarding that, because it serves this core structure of power that really calls the shots, that is in the shadows, that is not seen. And so this is where I'm just going to get straight down to it. So I just want to give some background. Hold on. How do I do this again? Work it out. Let's share screen there. So I just want to give some background before I speak out about what I'm being led to speak out about. And I do, excuse me, because it isn't easy. It's not nice. And so if you would look at the body, we've got the body. I can't draw with this pen real quick. I can draw with it when I've got time. So we've got the body, and we've got a whole host of organs in it, a whole host of organs in it. And each organ giving off a frequency. This is why they are organs. And together, the body of organs makes up an orchestra. So when the body is in tune, we get lovely notes, we get rhythm and we get flow. When it's out of tune, we get disease, we get problems, because it's not in balance, it's not in flow, it's not in music, as music does, it flows. And so they've figured this out. They've figured this out, that not only can we be cattle on the ground for whatever purposes, you know, to work, to create wealth for the few and not the many, to use us as manifestation power plants to create the reality that they so desperately want to create. And I think that they are capable of doing a lot, i.e. harnessing our power, but the ones that are in the shadows aren't quite so capable of doing that themselves. I think there's either a different being or a different structure, or just that they've drowned themselves out in such evil that, you know, they haven't got that side of them still, whatever it might be. But, you know, they've worked out that there's this frequency that comes off each organ, and each organ having a different frequency, a different rhythm, a different strength. And so I want to go into the fact that I saw organs. I saw, you know, a heart, let's say, and beating at a certain frequency. It was in a type of amniotic type sac, and this frequency was being measured. They're using, hold on, stop share. They're using these different organs and experimenting with these different organs. And I had to come out of this vision to propel things, to harness the power of the organs, the frequency, and use them, or testing to use them as power, as batteries, and almost long lasting batteries, depending on if they get this sort of fluid right, that would sustain the actual organ, that the organ would still give off this certain frequency. But of course, some of the things that I saw meant that the testing involved this being with live people, with bodies that were still alive. And so I don't know why I'm being, well, I do know why, but I don't know why it feels so urgent to get this out, to show you that we need to observe what is going on right now and take it really seriously. Because if they've already been going to this depth of depravity, and I'll wait for it all to come out, which it will, if they're willing to go to this depth of depravity regarding the kind of testing that they're doing with this now, with the at least illusion of some freedoms that we still have, then if this rollout of very, very small amounts of people having a whole host of power, what happens then? Because this isn't good enough that anything like this, or organ harvesting even, is happening in this world. It's no good that it's in China. That doesn't wash with me. This is the world that I live in. So the fact that it's happening to brothers and sisters in China, then, you know, it affects me. But far better we make noise about certain things like this, or at least let them know that we know. Or to be ready for that information, confirmational information, because I know everybody needs confirmation. I understand that, I do. To come out, then the better process, the better prepared we are to say no, no. Not there, not here, not anywhere. Don't care what kind of magical technology you've created that you want to use. We will not be batteries, or any more batteries than a lot of us already are. So it's something that I just know that I needed to do. And, you know, sorry, not sorry if it upset you. I'll bring what I'm led to bring and put it out there. And it took me a long time to get here to do this, to be able to just say, you know what, I'll put out there what I need to put out there. And the responsibility of others is what they do with that information is theirs. So it's a difficult one for sure. But look out for things like this linked to this very, very in-depth testing, working out how they could milk this frequency thing regarding the frequency that our own organs, our own orchestra give off. Keep an eye out for things that you will be noticing later down the line. I know this. And so it's going to be, I think, a softer sell. But it won't have to be that soft if we don't wake up to what is going on right now. If we don't wake up to what is happening right now is nothing like it is being sold to be. That we should have kept about our lives and pushed from that vantage point for truth and transparency. Knowing that voting was done, you know, knowing that Parliament was done, and pushing. So don't let us, I think as the collective, we need to recognise in foresight to not let us get further down the line where they don't even have to be worried about putting this information that I've just divulged out. Because let's face it, we're already pretty far down that line. How long have we known about the dilemma of those forgotten people in China? How long has that been a norm for many people to know is really happening? How did we get to this point where leaders aren't terrified of the collective knowing that this kind of thing is happening? That leaders aren't terrified of the actions we would take as a collective to save any sector of the community, any of our brothers and sisters around the world. Because you see, what I don't like is that we haven't done that as a collective. What I don't like is that I think of my own children. You know, I'm a very selfless person, but when it comes to them, they're first. What if it was happening in this country? Who would come? Who would speak out? Who would do something? Who would be led to campaign, to travel, to do who? Because as a collective, we haven't proved ourselves enough to do so for places like that. And we've continued and continued and continued to believe in these leaders that go off, drop drone bombs, drop bombs out of planes, the submarines, and is any community left better off? No. Apart from the army that went in aggressively to so-called save a community, to save the people. They are the ones that win. They are the ones that walk away with a base around the oil, or a base around, you know, whatever else, the hemp that was growing to sustain families everywhere in that country. We have to let go of their games, because as long as we continue to play their games, we we allow things like this to go on. And, you know, think of it that way. Think of it that way. That this happens. This is happening. Not even in a different realm. Not even in a different dimension. In the same timeline, this is happening. And many, many more things are happening. And if you're lucky enough to live somewhere like the US, the UK, Australia even, Germany, it hasn't been a picnic. But, you know, lucky enough to live there for now, if it was happening here, on the back of what we've seen and done and allowed to happen through our leaders, ask yourself, you would want people to come. You would want people to make noise. You would maybe lay there hoping and praying that this doesn't happen to anybody else. That somebody will make some noise, somebody will do something. But as far as it goes right now, your prayers wouldn't be answered. Not in your lifetime anyway. So we need to put things out where we're led to put things out, because, you know, I can never predict, or sometimes I can, let's be honest, but I can never predict what the fallout of a lot of my knowings, that I just have this intuition that I've got to get out. And I'll sit on it and sit on it, and I get shoved down the stairs metaphorically. You know, eventually to say, okay, I'm going to sit down. I'm sitting down. I'm speaking. I'm saying it. I'm saying it. I'm saying it. Because I've come to say this many, many times, and then turned the laptop off and thought, no. And then, you know, I feel ashamed at that for a little while. Think, why? Because, you know, it's upsetting. Because, you know, it sounds out there. Because you're nervous of what other people's reaction will be. And then I get my Jenny on. And then I think, stuff all of that for the visions that I've had, for the people that I've seen. Who the hell am I to even contemplate being nervous of being led to put a damn message out? Who am I? I would be a wimp, and I would be a coward. So I'm putting it out there in the knowing that it's meant to be out there at this time, and reaching the right ears and reaching the right eyes, the eyes to see and ears to hear, just to be able to even consciously just start lifting this from these people, and lifting it from all of our futures. You know, I do feel like there's collective generational karma, so to speak. I mean, don't quote me on that one, because I'll probably change the label of it if I thought about it and did a video on it. But where, you know, we are responsible for ourselves first and foremost, and then for our fellow person. So I'm putting it out there. I'm going to leave it there, because it's like I've got stuff coming back, and I don't like it. And I have to be honest, things like this, you know, they're not easy. Yeah, they're not easy. So I'm putting it out there. I'll appreciate your comments. Appreciate you thinking scientifically of how magical it is that this body works so symbiotically. I know we get poorly and things get out of alignment, but, you know, on the whole, we are an amazement. And frequency is known. Frequency is in everything. And there's a hell of a lot of frequency. And it's a frequency that works real well for the roles that it does. And those frequencies can then be transmuted onto something similar as to what it would do in the body, but onto some kind of machinery that would need that similar kind of directional frequency. So it's not that far off. in your mind for a lot of you, I know, as far as research goes and as far as where frequency research is and frequency knowledge is. So yeah, I love you all. I appreciate you all. I'm going to go and get my Jenny on back again and see if I jump back on for another video when Pia does sleep. I'll see. But I love you all so much, and I appreciate you all so much. I just want to say one more thing. A lot of intuitives, a lot of empaths, a lot of psychics, a lot of just people in the knowing. I've described, and I've had similar, where you've had this time of, particularly in the last more than a few years, of almost solitude, this natural hermit of having to withdraw for a little while. And I really do feel that that was a preparation point for us collectively as people on a similar vibe, to really get ourselves grounded, to really let go of a lot of ego that would therefore hold us back from putting out messages like these, to really raising our vibrations, to doing that inner work, that inner healing. And I just think it's so beautiful that I remember up until very recently even talking about that hermit mode, and that it felt like it had been around for a long time in a lot of our lives. But then all of a sudden, the hermit is coming up, of course, some personal readings and stuff, but it stepped back a little bit. And this energy of this togetherness, as we are here on this channel, the Wayne's channel, Doc's channel that I go on, there's this togetherness of great groups, enormous numbers of groups of people coming together in this higher frequency, in this knowing, in this intuition and knowledge, and in this searching for truth and searching for balance and fairness, enlightenment and liberation. And so you all here, and a lot of crossover from Wayne's channel, and some that are just from here and not Wayne's channel. If you're not part of Wayne's channel and you're into these videos, please go over and subscribe to that man's channel, Wayne Steiger. Oh, I've always got his link in the description box. He is a truth seeker connoisseur. He comes up with very in-depth yet easy to absorb messages of the occult, and much more, and he's just a really cool dude. But yeah, we come together, and then I go to Doc's channel, which Susie is always with me there, and I appreciate that so much. Susie, my bridge. And so there's this coming together of these people, and what a beautiful place to be, what a beautiful energy to be in, and recognize that, oh, you look up and you think, oh, the solitude, gone, you know, poof, be gone. And so you guys are my poof, be gone to solitude as well. And I appreciate it very, very much. And I would say more than you know, but a lot of you know, because we've all sort of, many of us have been in that place of the hermit, and then the hermit's just stepped back and said, okay, it's time. And then we're here in this moment of change. And look at all of the change that is available right now and in our grasp right now. And so it's pretty damn amazing as well. So again, I'll stop talking now. I love you all. Mwah.